what were your initial thoughts, when you started therapy and what you thought you would get out of it versus like the reality of, what it looked like and stuff like that?
Yeah. And gosh, that's so true. My parents they have gotten so much better. Like I have forced them to go to therapy here and there to get better at that because like every family has shit, right? And so if you don't talk, like that was the thing, like stuff it down. And I think that's where a lot of like issues I had developed were like, I'm never talking about these things and I'm not dealing with them and I don't know how to deal with them on my own. So they just keep like sparking and getting bigger. And so I'm trying to think the first time I went to therapy was probably when I was first dealing with, let's see, I was probably like fresh out of college when I was dealing with a lot of like, again, like body image things, but also was like utilizing substances to cancel out emotions and numb out and all of that kind of stuff. And so that's where I originally was like, I need to get some help with this because none of my friends like are kind of going to the level that I'm going at with all of these things. And my parents don't really get it. And so that was like the first time I really seeked someone out and I got a recommendation from a friend and this person turned out to be amazing, like helped me through that chapter. Then when I went through my divorce, it was like, I really needed to get back into it because it was it was extremely scary. Like I had stopped working for a little bit and I was just fearful of what my next chapter would be going through the divorce. So, helped me and she helped me through again a lot of these body image things that kind of came and kept following me into adulthood that I quite honestly don't want to pass on to my daughter. And so learning how to talk about them, learning how to talk about food with my daughter and healthy food versus maybe some things that we don't want to eat all the time. Like, and it was never spoken to me that way. It was just like, don't eat that garbage. Like you don't want to gain weight or you look like you're gaining a little bit of weight. Let's not eat that. So yeah, like I wanted to make sure I was in a place mentally and emotionally that I could then teach my daughter how to handle these things and navigate these things. So I was pretty young. I was probably in my 20s when I first started seeing a therapist, and then have gone like on and off when things pop up. It's like, hey, let's check in. It's like going to your doctor, right? Like your mind is a huge part of your body and they're all connected. And so it's not like I go to therapy and I'm done. It's like, okay, I might need to check in again when things are coming back up.
I love the way you phrase that so much because, yeah, it's like you don't just like go to therapy one day and you're like, okay, I'm fixed. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, it's really more of an ebb and flow. So like, thank you so much for sharing that because I that was so like eloquently worded.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Did you go during pregnancy? Like, did you? What kind of support, I guess, did you have?
Yeah, I don't think I went during pregnancy. I know I went after because it was years later where I kind of was going through a divorce and started going back. But during pregnancy, I also think that's not a horrible idea just because of how much your hormones are changing and like you're crying about really weird things and things are probably hitting you differently. Like I literally remember, this just triggered me. I literally remember I was like really pregnant and my mom like asked me to bring a dish to Thanksgiving and I like used the wrong green beans or something. And I cried about it at Thanksgiving because I was pregnant. I'm like, who cries about that? But yes, anyways. Emotions are weird and different during pregnancy. And so, having a support system, whether that's friends who know what you're going through or your family or a therapist, like making sure, and also postpartum, like having a support system there is so huge, especially if you're dealing with anything like depression or anxiety related, like seek someone out. There is absolutely no shame in that. Our hormones are all over the place and they're rebalancing after you have a baby. So just making sure that you have the support is so huge.
Jess, how old were you when you got pregnant and like what year was that?
Let's see. I had my daughter in 2014. So I was pregnant in 2013. I think I was, let's do some math, 27 when I had her.
Okay. And did you guys prepare for that? Like, was that a planned endeavor or was that like a oops?
No, it was
smiley face.
It's a combo and then, hey, 9 months later.
Yeah, no, it was planned. But so that helped a little bit. So I was kind of like expecting all the things to happen. But it happened a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Oh, so was it like first try?
It was like, yeah, we're going to try this. And then it was like, oh, it happened. Not really ready. I wasn't ready.
Take the wheel.
Yeah, seriously.